I'm gonna get ready using products that were gifted to me. I just have my skincare on, just a hydrating serum, and then I'm gonna start with this Biore UV Aqua Rich sunscreen that I got from my friend Sammy. It's a nice thick texture, which makes it easy to apply. It does smell a bit like alcohol, but I just like the way it feels on my skin. It feels very moisturizing, but not too heavy. And I always just dab whatever is left on my palms onto my eyelids, because my eyelids stick out past my brow bone. Next in my drawer, I have some prep related products. So I'm gonna apply Laneige lip mask. This is the only lip mask I've ever used. Well, I've used the classic pink berry, or is it gummy berry? I think it's pink berry by Laneige, and this one actually has a bit of a tint to it, so it's a little strange to be using a lip mask that's meant for prep that has color in it, but it works really well. I like how it feels. And I also have the Korean version, which I don't know if I can show it to you. There it is in the corner. It comes with a little holder, so I put that inside the drawer. Then I'm gonna take the Bobbi Brown vitamin enriched eye base to moisturize under my eyes, because I feel like, I don't know, it just feels nice. This I got as a gift from 2 of my bridesmaids. And then for foundation, I'm gonna use this Clinique Even Better foundation. And let me see if you can actually tell, but it's a little bit pinkish for me. So what I always have to do is mix a little bit of green color corrector into it. And it matches my skin so much better when I put a little green into it. And I just use the lid as the mixing palette because it's easy to clean. And in a very, I just use the lid to stamp it over my face. And then I'm taking this flat brush to spread it out. This brush was actually also gifted to me by my auntie, and although I really like the concept of it, I think it works better with thinner products. This Clinique foundation's a little too thick, so it's hard for it to spread out with this kind of brush. So I take another brush, it's a Sephora foundation brush. This, I think it was some kind of limited edition charcoal infused thing, but it's really nice and dense. I just think it's the perfect size. And whatever's left after that, just making sure I get the outskirts of my face, dabbing a little onto my nose. I do have some more redness over here. Yeah, see how it gets stuck to the brush? Not a problem. And then, see how there's still product left? Just dab that onto my eyes. And then I just wipe this off. I set all over my face with this very nice silky powder that I got in Spain from Mercadona. It's a very popular grocery store, and this powder, it's called silk powder, and it really does feel super smooth. And sometimes I set my face with loose powder, but honestly, I can get away with using pressed powder, so I usually do. I'm going to use this blush. This is the Almay baked powder blush. I can't remember what it's called, but it's so incredibly smooth. It feels really soft and silky, and it's only like maybe $8 to $12. I can't remember exactly how much it costs, but I think it's just that perfect bronzer color and works really well. It's quite pigmented. I depotted it and I put it into this Makeup Forever tin because I just like the experience of holding this better than the box that it comes in. Oh, maybe a little bit too much. I'm using the brush that I usually use for my bronzer, so it might have a little bit of bronzer left over on there, but just for a super easy all-in-one step. And I'm just applying it where I normally apply bronzer, because why not? Next, I'm gonna do my eyes, and I have this really luxurious palette that I got from my auntie. It's a limited edition, I think, holiday Dior palette, and it's got 5 pans in there. I'm not a huge fan of the reddish tone of this palette. I mean, there's two shades that are a little bit more red. I really like these 3 that are more neutral, but I think this could be a great multitasking palette, as this could work as a blush if you really thin it out. This works well as a highlighter. I don't think this could work on the other 3, can't necessarily work on the face. Maybe if you have a deep skin tone, this one could work as a blush, but I do enjoy mixing these to make a more bronzy tone, and then this one alone is a little bit more taupe. This one I've struggled with, as sometimes it does smudge onto my lower lash line, but we're gonna try it today, and I'm gonna try to make a little bit of a more long-lasting base by mixing a concealer with this NYX glitter primer, which is extremely sticky. So we'll see. I'm just gonna mix it on the back of my hand and see what happens. So super tiny amount. And I'm using a stick concealer as well. So we're just gonna blend those 2 together with a concealer brush and just lightly dab this on my eyelids. I'm hoping that the matte matchsticks, the Fenty matchsticks, will help reduce some of the stickiness of this eye primer, and that the brush will prevent me from using too much. Okay, I think it might be working, because my eyelids are definitely looking more smooth, but at the same time I'm feeling just a tiny bit of tackiness, which is perfect. I don't think I will need to even dust loose powder over that. Okay, let's see. I think I'm gonna start with this color, which I always do, and mix in a tiny bit of this. And it is surprisingly pigmented, so I'm gonna dust off a little bit, and then just starting in the outer corner. Not gonna go too hard too soon, hopefully. Okay, this is looking good. Just kind of getting a little wash of color on there. I really like the way that this palette folds. It's so convenient to be able to just fold the mirror back. Okay. Now I'm gonna take a mixture of this taupe color and the deepest color and just deepen the outer corners a little bit. And then I'm gonna blend it out with this brush. So I'm gonna take it on this bullet brush and then blend it out with this one. So just placing the darkness on there. Then I'm gonna brighten the center of my eyelid, the lightest shade. Really want to smooth out these edges. So sometimes I take a little bit of powder foundation, another clean blending brush. See how that just blended it into the crease? You can also use a light eyeshadow and that works really well too. I'm going to do the same for underneath. Just kind of lift and blend that area. I'm gonna use this black eyeliner from Bare Minerals that also was given to me by my auntie, although a different auntie. And this one is very pigmented, it has a bit of a thick tip. So I'm going to draw it on, or I'm gonna just run my little skinny number 18 eyebrow brush from Anastasia Beverly Hills onto the tip. Sharpen it on the back of my hand like this, and then just line very edge of my lashes. I think you can see the difference in the camera that made, even though it's super subtle. Just taking off the excess on the back of my hand. I'm taking the excess just a very tiny bit under the outermost portions of my lower lash line. Eyebrow color, which is this gray tone right here. Brush back the hairs and then brush them forward. Literally just coloring in the very arch of my brow. I prefer a super natural look. And this brow has a little bit less hair, so I'm gonna go in, fill it a little bit more, and brush them back. Any excess I have on the brush goes on the front of the brow, but I don't want it to look too done, just enough to match my eyes, the intensity of my eye look. I'm going to take my Shiseido lash curler. You don't have to use this one. I also have a Tweezerman one that's for Asian flat set eyes that works super well. And then instead of curling my lashes with the curler flat up against my face, a makeup artist taught me to hold it more at an angle, which makes so much sense because we want the lashes to go up and out. So you're going to hold it at an angle, not flat up against the face like this, but rather like this. Make sure to grab all the lash hairs gently squeeze, and then move up a little bit, gently squeeze. I don't have very long hair, so I don't need to, go like that. I think just two, one near the base and one near the center of the eyelashes, and not really squeezing very hard. It already gives me so much more lift. And I'm taking this Clio mascara. This is the Super Proof Mascara Fine in 01 Vanilla Ice, and it is perfect for thin, delicate eyelashes. It really helps hold the curl. And I'm sure you can see the difference between those two. Okay, now for the lips, I'm gonna remove this lip mask. I don't have a gifted lip liner, so I'm just gonna use my favorite one, which is the Bare Minerals Gen Nude Under Over lip liner. And unfortunately, this shade, or this line, has been replaced by something else, but this color is like my perfect My Lips but more amplified lip liner. And because I have a double lip line, as you can see, there's a bit of a crease here and more pigment over here. That's called a double lip line. And if I draw the outside line, it looks like I've overdrawn my lips. So I always draw the inside line to look more natural. Some people color the lips all over with lip liner. I don't like that because it feels dry. And then, ooh, let's see. We do have some options for gifted lips, but I'm gonna go with the lipstick that my husband gave me, which is this MAC lipstick in Velvet Teddy. So there's a warm teddy, Velvet Teddy, which is the neutral, and then there's Cool Teddy as well, which was released a bit more recently. And it does look a little bit grayish on me, this Velvet Teddy. But I think it's a perfect nude lip. It doesn't take away from the eyes. And I love the smell. It smells like vanilla cookies. My favorite way to make the lip color last a little bit longer is to blot it. So while we're at it, you can see I already got a bit oily, so I'm just gonna gently blot my whole face. And then I'm gonna blot the lipstick. It looks a little silly, like, you just put it on, why are you taking it off? But it really looks more natural and less lipsticky. You can do it again, apply it again, and then blot again. But I think I'm just gonna leave it like this so that it's still a thinner layer on the lips. And then last step, I usually take this Becca finishing powder, just go over the whole complexion. It somehow just ties everything together and makes my skin look smoother. It does have a teeny bit of a shimmer to it, but it does not show on the skin. It just looks completely natural. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.